So I'm at a park I do not think I've been to. I had a hell of a time finding a parking spot as they're doing some construction over at this school over there. But so a lot of extra parking spots are gone. But yeah, it's not my ideal park. I don't like these kind of petty little things, not much grass. I don't like really swinging so much, just like on the. I like having grass. I mean, it's little pet peeves. But I think I've been here before, but I'm not sure. I think I walked through this park and didn't find anything in this thing. But I'm here today because I can't remember if I've been in this park. And there's the name of the park right there. One thing I don't like, I just absolutely hate, is I hate these buttons being protruded outward. Because when you put these, anytime you set these down on the side or in the case and you put a little pressure, you end up turning your headphones on. So really stupid, bad, flaw design on Mindlab's part. They should have put the buttons maybe indented inside or on the outside rim where it's not going to accidentally get pushed by pressure. So really bad design flaw. And I know that you can plug in directly. So as much as I hate the connectors breaking on my old Koss Mindlab, those were the best headphones ever. Those Koss ones that I got for that I had with the E-trac. So it's possible that I might end up investing in those just to see what they sound like. I had a bunch of pairs. I had like 3 or 4 pairs that I was going to fix eventually, and then we ended up moving, and I said, forget it. I ain't going to deal with this stuff anymore. So I'd like to know about the headphones, because in reality, for me, I found these okay, but I wish I could put my Koss ones in and see how they sound in comparison to this. But then I'm going from an E-trac to this, and the tones are different. So I tell you, the E-trac has the most superior tones ever. But we'll see today. I'm going to try the 5-tone, which isn't going to be flexible. I love the flexibility of the multi-tone, but we'll see what happens today. All right, testing out the new program. Well, not the new program, but the 5-tone. I got a target here. It's going to be 85.92. Messed up a little bit this way. Wasn't so bad in the headphones though, going the 90 degrees. Now the problem is it does pull me a little bit when I pinpoint. It pinpoints. Oh, come on. Oh, wrong button, I guess. It pulls me a little bit this way, so. But I do get the tone with my top of my coil starting right there. So I get a, see right here, I get a 68.73, and then you turn 87.92. I don't know what I got here. Usually I would call these type of things pennies, slightly on edge. They give you a good high tone one way. Since I've been messing with this dumb thing, this whole signal's kind of degraded. This way, it just wants to pull me over here. So either it's a big nail right over here, pointing in this way, or it's not. And I forgot to put my camera holder on, which I was supposed to do yesterday when I was doing some video air test. So let me dig this and we'll see what we got. All right, well, I think I've got myself a dime quarter. 83, 85. Yeah, it's got this way a little messy because 74, 76, because there's a target here and there's garbage right next to it. That's an 84, 85 right there, but it's about 2-3 bars in depth. So I'm hoping, of course we always hope for silver, but yeah. So it's kind of nice. There's a little bit of garbage next to this. So it didn't sound so good the other way, different direction. I'm kind of ignoring 2 bars depth, like 4 inches down today, just because my battery on this, I can't believe you guys. I can't believe MindLab put a metal detector out, $1,600 with a battery life that will last. I mean, for me and you guys, I don't know about you guys, this battery will last me a day, sometimes 2 days max. That's sad. So I did bring a battery brick. That was a good suggestion to somebody out there. I can't remember who it was, but a battery brick to charge my detector while I'm walking around. But then they give you this charging cable that's only like 2 feet long. So why don't they give you a charging cable that's like maybe 4 feet long, so you could put one in your backpack or someplace else and then still have the ability to move around a little bit. So I think guys at MindLab killing me. And you guys don't even have accessories. Where's your housing cover? You know, you got the screen protectors that came with it, but where's the housing cover? And there's other manufacturers out there making covers for this and other things for that. I know that they're probably in the works, but if you don't have those things ready to go, you know, it's like going to the movies, right? It's the popcorn and the pop where they're going to make all their money. It's the accessories, you know. Don't jack up the price too much. Put a nice power cord, you know, and sell, even put a battery brick on your website that says MindLab on it. Something stupid, but a battery brick just for this purpose. And you can have people make a nice little sling bag out of it or something. People put it on their back and then have the cord go around. You know, but then you've made this magnetic connector, which is actually a pretty good magnetic connector for the charging port. But the problem with that is your detector should come with it should come with a battery port cover so that doesn't get dirty. And if you're going to do a magnetic and you're going to say to charge it as you go with the battery brick, well, you guys don't say that, other people have come up with that great idea, then you probably would like to have a different type of connector, maybe because it might pop off if you're carrying a battery brick. But anyways, let's get back to the target at hand and see what we got going on here. Problem is, I haven't heard my target yet. At 3 bars at 6 inches. And it's probably in the plug, but that's, I mean, it was 2 to 3 bars. So if the target's pretty small, you know, hey, I'll take a small forget-me-not silver, sterling silver. Oh yes, it's in the plug. See, that was 2 to 3 bars, and it's about right with 4. That would be 2 bars, would be like 4 inches. So now that I'm only down this far, my hopes of silver have diminished. Yeah, it's just a penny. I just up a penny. See, it's just a typical. Get a nice high tone, you get a 2-inch penny. Not even a Wheatie. That was another flaw in there. You know, you have a target IDs of 100, and then these memorial pennies are coming up high, really high. Yeah, that's what sucks. Yep. Oh well. Move on to the next one. All right, well, I didn't film it. I'm not filming a lot of these because it's just going to get boring and redundant. I know everybody's trying to go through this learning curve, and most of you have watched videos of people that have been already taking this detector out for hours and hours, and don't need a lot of the repeat stuff. But got my first weedy. It's a greenie. Not sure the year, but interesting tone. I checked it. So I'm running in the 5-tone, which I never really did with the E-trac. But the E-trac didn't have the ability to adjust just the zones, the volume, and this is a little bit more user friendly as far as setting up the zones. There's a lot of things I'm not liking about the Manticore right now, but I just started and I gotta give it some time. I'm still digging iron on iffy targets. This one, I just dug a dime a little while ago. It showed me 3 bars, but it was really only like 3 inches down, and it gave me the same. See, that's the problem. The 2D screen is showing iron on top and then a coin or something down here. And so I've been digging a lot of those where it looks like there's 2 targets, but it's always been iron. And I understand what people are saying about the iron falsing, but this one in particular was different. It was weird, but it sounded because I have it in 5 tones. This particular coin sounded like it was right on the break point of where I had my zone. So it sounded like it was one coin, and then I'd go a different swipe, and it would sound like it was the other side. So it's like I was getting almost 2 tones, like a cluck, 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 cluck. It was a little weird sound, but I didn't film it, but I was thinking it might be a coin. I wasn't thinking silver, but this one did show 3 bars, and it was down about 6-7 inches. So it's kind of interesting. When I put it over the coil, I don't get there's my fluctuation right there. See, this is I don't know if I like this coil. I don't know if this coil is good. A good coil, because see, I get what I'm hearing in my headphones, it's almost interference. This is fine. It's these inner ones that are causing a change in ID numbers, tone. Interesting. That kind of sucks, but it's interesting. So anyways, yeah, first weedy, no big deal. It's not like this thing is hitting it out of the park. I already went to 2 parks that I slammed, and if I posted those, I don't know if I'll post those in the previous video, but anyways, yeah, no spectacular performance here from the Manticore yet. I can't quite get the date on that, but we'll get it in the picture. Well, I think I got a target here for sure. Interesting. This is what it sounds like in 5-tone, and you're gonna. And it sounds like there's it's got like 2 tones. It's got that high-low tone because it's bouncing between both of my breakpoints. If you listen to this in 1 tone, or the all tones, it sounds a lot better. And it's got like 3 bars on it. The 5-tone, I thought that it would be better so I could break up the where I want those silvers at, but I think I'm going to have to adjust my line, so my curvature line, so there's no gaps between them, so they have to be one steady fluid curve up, instead of, like, I might have a line that goes where, and then maybe it jumps up a little bit, and that might be why I'm getting this funky Alright, let's dig this and see what we got. I'm gonna put my right there. And I think I'm just gonna put my phone against the I don't even know if that's gonna work. Well, heck with it. I'll just dig it with my shovel. Do a live dig on this. So interesting. I just put the plug in over here where I got that weedy, right? And you know, the general rule is that if you find something old, you should probably grid off the area. So, and with a step back, I hit this one. This one was giving me higher tone, higher numbers, ID numbers, which doesn't mean a whole lot, but it was giving me bouncing up in that dime range. But it was clucking between my two things. So this could be just a memorial penny. That's the problem. It's just not knowing enough from. I really got to get a new pinpointer. I know I've said that for years, but I mean, I just don't believe in replacing something. Why replace something that's not broken? Like the E-trac, right? The E-trac's great. I always said that I probably would, if it broke, I'd probably just buy another E-trac. But all right, where's my coin or target? I'm keeping my eye. Oh man. It's in the plug. I was hoping this would be deeper. I think it's in my plug. Keeping my eye on a guy over here in the park. He's walking around all the cars. He was walking around my car. He was looking at stuff underneath my car, and I was like, yeah, it's got a catalytic converter probably. But man, this is Portland. It used to be the city of roses. Now it's like the city of shit. I'm sorry, city of poop. I don't even know if I can delete that out. Well, when you can't find your target, get the big ol' thing up here and see where it's at. Oh, so now it's in my plug, but I'm getting one tone now. Am I in 5 tone? Yeah, I'm in one. So it's in my plug. I'm getting one tone, which means it's not very deep, which means it's probably not. It's gonna be something older. Always got to look for those little things at about 7 inches down. 6-7 inches seems like the magic number, but it's just a clucking dime. So anyways, this one sounded very similar to the wheat penny, cluck cluck, but this one was in a higher ID range than the wheat. All right, well, it's gonna be one of my last digs. Sorry, there's a lot of noise here. 97, 92. Tone isn't the best. 60. You can't see jack. Screen sucks. 98. 64. Now this is all metal. Bouncing in numbers. I've dug a lot of these just like this that have all been ironed. But I'm trying to listen to the tone. Uh-oh, why did I lose connection? What's going on? I lost Headphone connection. Weird. Oh, what's going on? These things can't be dead already. Headphones? Man, are you kidding me? No way. No, I just turned them off. Come on. Yeah, somebody complained about the headphones, and I don't really, I'm not a biggest fan of this Bluetooth connection thing. It just kind of bites. Technology should be better at connecting these things. Anyways, I've been digging a lot of these, but I'm just going to see what it is. I'll dig it, and if it's anything good, I'll show you. But it's bouncing. It's, I almost think that the ID screen is a big gimmick. I mean, I do like the E-trac with the 2 numbers. I do like seeing the bounce of the numbers. It's kind of where I look at. It's just, there's a lot of things in this detector that I wish were, I wish the E-trac had. I wish this had the auto sends. I said that. I wish this had the ability, because I don't like having to manually push down my sensitivity to, because it's picking up all of this garbage, right? And I want to turn it down so I can just focus on what I'm trying to work on. So that's a flaw. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of bad things about this detector that I don't like. But like I said, I'm going to give it time. I hope it grows on me. I don't know. Just tones, everything, the quality's not quite there. It's like the CTX. The quality of the tone is what matters. All right, let me dig this. All right, well, I started my camera up because, on a positive note, it's sort of in my plug versus the sidewall, so it's almost in the center. It's not as deep as it says it was. It was 4 bars, so that's probably, it's close. That's 7 inches. Tip of the blade is 7. So I'm not sure what we got here. Probably a bottle cap. Oh, it is in the sidewall. I thought it was more like right here, but I'm not sure if I have something in the plug too. No, it was just the bottom of my blade. Oh well, let's see what we got. Probably, oh look, it is a coin. It's a coin. It was a coin, semi on edge right there. Semi on edge, and it's a weedy, I bet, because it's green. It's a greenie. Yeah, it's a 1 center. Well, that's good. That's if you're gonna dig a nail, I like to dig square nails, and if you're gonna dig pennies, I'd love them to be Wheaties. Oh, I think that's it. That was about 6 inches. That was about 6 inches. So, yeah. I'm just gonna do the rest of the strip, and then I'll take off to the park. All right. Fatal error on my part. So yesterday, when I did an adjustment, and I didn't realize that it was in beach mode. So my 5-tone pattern looked like that. And that's what I thought I was using this morning. And for some reason, when I go over to my general and go back up to those 5 tones and edit, it looks like that, like default. And that's why I was getting that cluck, cluck, cluck high tone at breakpoints. And so now I've got to fix this to where I want it. And so I'm going to go back and write some numbers down real quick, fix this real quick, and then get to a park here I've never been to before. But this park wasn't developed until after 1960, and it used to have houses all the way through there. The street ran through here and houses over there, and then in and around 1960 they had a baseball field in the middle, and they changed it years later added a playground, a basketball court, and then they moved the baseball field from the center over to this corner over here. So this part of the field over here is pretty much been there since 1960-ish, but the trees have been there for a long time, and this used to have houses, so there could be a lot of trash here. I don't know what I'm going to find here. I'm just going to spend a little time walking through it and see what I can pick up, but let me fix this first and then we'll get going. Well, like I said, I don't know, because this park, I don't know this park. It slopes down right here into a flat field. Now, like I said, the baseball diamond used to sit over there back in the 60s. And so I assumed it was all flat at that time. And this street looks like it slopes downward. So if I had my best opportunity to find stuff that hadn't been dug out, because this ground probably sloped gradually with the houses on it, it's probably that field over there. It would be my best opportunity to find something good, and along the sidewalk strip, versus probably right down in here. So I'm just, these are things that I talked about in my past videos about how to evaluate your location. And think about, there probably wasn't necessarily a driveway that dropped down. Could have been, but you never know. I just found something cool. So I had this funky signal. It's just a normal weird signal, like it was bouncing between like a couple different tones. And right now, if I were to swing this over my coil, I get a what number is that coming up? Let's see, where'd that go? '62s, bouncing, but it's a token. I haven't found a token in a long time. Like I said, there were old houses that lined, like these old houses right on here. This was full of old houses, this whole block. And like I said, the street's right there. So it might be a good opportunity right in through there where the street might have been, like on the edge of where the houses were. But let's see what we got. It's a it's a trade token. Good for one fair. Good for one fair. And I'm not going to be able to read that without my glasses and looking at it up close, but it'll be able to be more visible in the camera. I'm not sure if that's even up or not, but I'll try and figure out what it is so I can post it in the video, or at least say what it is in just a second. But good for one fair. Transit Authority. Oh wow, New York. So it says New York up top. So New York Transit Authority. Oh, you got a trade token for New York. Good for one fair on the Y. Oh, this was ringing in like a surface fine almost, like an 82. And it's, oh, it's a button. And then I flipped it over and it's, oh, it's like looks like an old coin. But it's not, I don't think. It just could be, but it's probably not, because it's got, no, it doesn't have any rim around it. Kind of looks like an old German coin, but there's nothing on this side, so I'm assuming it's just the button. Actually, it was a pin, it looks like. All right, cool. It says 1780 on it, so I'll have to do some investigation on this, whatever this is. Yeah, you can see the greeny indentation right there where this baby was. Actually found it like right over here on this side of the plug. But it's another weedy, and second old thing I found at this park, besides that transit token, which was right up here, and now I got the weedy right here. So I think I did meander around the park and over there and just picking up clad, but the old stuff's been over in this little section. So I'm just going to grid off a little bit of this little area here and then move on to the next park. This was coming in, so this was only about 5 inches or so, and it was a repeatable target both ways. I predicted when I dug this that this might be a dime. It was giving me a lot of variable numbers. That's the problem. It's like, but I saw that it was somewhere in that high 70, low 80 range, and I predicted, I'm trying to guess what it was, and I said, oh, well, it's going to be probably a clad dime, and it ends up being a weedy, so I'll take it. All right, well, I'm at another park where, okay, so this is a park where I've had a little luck over by the trees, especially over in that area. Got a silver way over here, but you know what? The middle of this field was always so bad for the E-trac. I had to go like turn my sensitivity way down or just walk through the field in auto sense. So far, I've got this thing at 30, and I'm really pretty dang stable. Did noise cancellation, and so far I'm pretty impressed with that. Okay, I'm pretty impressed with the noise cancellation, at least in this field, because had a signal. You can see it down there. It looks like a greenie, but it was a pretty good signal this way, coming in a high 70, 80, low 80, and then this way was a little bad, but then right here I got some foil. So that's probably was messing up my signal a little bit, making it a little choppy. Yeah, I can see the wheat back there. Nice weedy, greeny. All right, well, that's number 4 weedy for the day. No silvers yet. This is my last park of the day, I think. So hope we can pull a silver out of this field that I wasn't able to get very good depth with the E-trac. So maybe this will work out. All right, well, it was down there about 7-8 inches. It's a very greeny weedy. And here's another one of those weird things. It was bouncing, the signal was bouncing from the 60s to the 80s, but it was repeatable in both directions. And when you had the like all metal on, it was painting right there, and down here it was painting right in the middle, but also I was getting a red line and I was getting a squiggly blue line. And to be honest with you, I didn't read through my manual yet completely, so I don't know if that was EMI or what that was, but anyways, this is something that I wasn't able to do with, I don't think, the E-trac in this particular. So chattery. It's so chattery right now. I'm at 22, but it's pretty good when I'm swinging it. I bump it up to 30, and it's pretty dang stable. So I hope it continues. All right, weedy number 4. Come on, where's that silver hiding in here? And that's kind of what you don't want to see. That's a 7-inch clad dime. Don't want to see those. 7 inches. That was down there. You know, that wasn't a bad signal. Still bouncing mid 70s, because I you know, just like the E-trac and stuff like that, the signal's the numbers are gonna degrade a little bit. But if that had been silver, I bet you I would have been in the 80s. So 7-inch clad dime. Don't like to see it. I'm hoping another weedy. It's 7 inches right there. That's funny, it's a greenie, but these signals are, you know, surprisingly, they're not coming in plain as day. Yeah, it's a weedy, a greenie. Oh, I can't read, my eyes are so bad. Can't read the date, but anyways, it looks like, what, 40 something? I don't one I got earlier today was a 29. Wouldn't mind having some more of those oldies, but this park isn't that old. Anyways, yeah, very hard to hear these coins. I'm hearing them as little blips, nothing real strong and distinctive, and they sound scratchy. And I think it's because there's EMI. You can see the, well, you can't really probably see the detector, but it's kind of jumping, you know. And but when I swing, it's pretty stable, and I'm stable enough to me to hear these really faint, odd sounds with whatever this EMI is down in the ground. That's what I used to call it. It's like so bad at EMI, and this wind is horrible. It's, you know, I wish they would make headphones a little better, because the wind noise. I should have worn my hoodie, because that's the best thing to do. Is if you pro tip, wear a hoodie or something over your headphones to cancel out the wind noise, because it helps 100%. Yeah, so I'm missing my hoodie right now. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear this because of the wind so loud, but this is, let's see, where in the heck is it? Dang it. Where is it? Right there. So right there. Let me listen to this. Maybe. Turn those off. And see if you can hear how scratchy it is. Yeah, of course it doesn't sound scratchy to you, but it's in my headphones. Yeah, in my headphones it's scratchy. Now I wonder if that's an EMI thing. Because interfering with this, because I know that there's a lot of electrical issues right here in this field, and it sounds really scratchy on the Wi-Fi. So now I got to get the cord and plug it in and see how much better the signal is plugged in. Dang. I think I'm going to come back here with Hap on Saturday and see if we can pick up more, and maybe I'll try the headphones plugged in and see if this clears up at all, because yeah, I mean, I'm getting a 97, but an 86, 96, 98, 97 right there. My turn though, I'm getting a 90, but there's iron right in the middle too. And there's that blue line, blue wavy line going on there, just constantly. That's what I used to get with the, just horrible with the E-trac. Now, congrats to the Manticore for being so much more stable. So much more stable. I have a feeling that, you know, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be here, but now that I know that I'm able to pick out these coins, you know, 7-8 inches, and through this EMI problem, I'm going to want to come back here and we can both hunt and grit it off a little bit better. But if I had to guess, it's probably right here in this clump. Well, no, maybe not. So let's see. And that the static, the electric interference is probably causing a little bit of a depth, maybe a depth degradation. Possible. But like I said, there was iron showing here on the top middle, and come on, show me a silver, come on. Well, if I don't usually hear it by the bottom of my plug, about where I think it's going to be, then I found a neat little tip. Yeah, it's just a scan that plug. see if it's in there. Well, hard to tell. I still got a little bit of noise in there. Well, let me get rid of this phone and dig it, and then I'll show you what it is when I get down to it. Well, unfortunately, it's not a coin, at least a shiny one. It's looks like copper, and it was down, oh, I don't know, what is this? That's at 7. These are what, 9 inches? So it was down 10 inches, maybe an inch above the plug, and I don't know what it is. For all I know, it's just a what's it? But I don't know. Just gonna clean it up and show you what it is. Hey, there goes the wind's blowing so much. There goes my glove. Oh, anyways, this actually is something. It's a pendant of some sort, or a metal, and it's got a little guy in the middle doing something, and I don't know if I'm gonna have to do a little bit more cleaning up on it. The back might have some writing, but right now I don't see anything. But yes, so cool. A deep pendant of some sort, or like a medal, a war badge or something. All right, I'm gonna keep going. Looks like a phone number and maybe a dog tag. Probably Skipper, and the phone number on the front, and a different phone number on the back or something. Maybe, I don't know what that is. It's a funky 559 on that side and 503. So 503 is Oregon, and 559, I don't know what that is. It might be maybe it's registered or something. But I wish they would have had a date on that. Looks like an oldie. Cool. That was shallow too, and that rang up like just super loud, at about 4 or 5 inches. There's a shallow, like 4-inch homemade copper ring. Ring up nice and high though. All right, well, this is the after 2 days of detecting with the Manticore. Lots of garbage, lots of nails, lots of iron. So learning how to do that. Today was better. Yesterday, the day before yesterday when I went with Hap, I dug a lot of nails. Today was better. So this was today's. Well, this was a combination of the first day I went out. I think I may have found a couple pennies, a dime, and maybe a quarter, and not much else. Today, so the majority of this was from today, and I left at 8 this morning, and the sun is going down. It is, I don't know, it's like 6:30. So I've been gone about 10 hours. So my battery on the detector, okay, so it's down about only a third left, maybe a quarter left. So I'm only going to get 2 hunts out of that. If I only do like 6-hour hunts, I do 2 6-hour hunts, I might be able to get 2. I did carry my battery pack with me today, but I didn't use it. So there's a couple unusual things I threw in the garbage. I had a couple buttons, kind of a new rivet button. There was an older button in there I threw away, and then I had this little thing, which was kind of like an older, I don't even call that, like a rivet. So that, but this, no silver. I was disappointed, but I got, I think one of these doesn't belong here. I had 6 wheats today, So I had a couple wheats from my other previous hunts, but 6 wheats today. This button, pin, whatever thing, the dog tag, skipper, the trade token, this homemade ring, and then this kind of cool thing. No writing on the back. Okay, that I can see. But what I can decipher, it says, it's got like a guy with a kilt and he's got a beer mug in his hand on this side. And it says drink something over here, and it almost looks like it says, well, Ryle. Let me get some. I have some water right here. Let's see. Whoa! I probably just broke it. It says almost like Pilsner or something, but I can't quite make it out what it says. So I'm assuming something from. Oh, maybe it says ale. Something though. Does that say 86 maybe, or 8? I don't know. But I don't know. But it's just a little guy, and I think he says drink, and he's got a beer, and he's happy, and something. If he's wearing a kilt, I wonder if there's an Irish ale something. Now this is old, so I'm assuming that this is pre-40s, pre-50s. So whatever ale that is, the date or something would be a significance. So anyways, something I have to look up. And yeah, not too bad for Manticore. I love finding those wheats, and a couple of those, I think I had 4 wheats in that field of MI. And I do need to go and look and see what the blue squiggly line is on there, because I saw it a lot when I opened up the all metal. I saw the red line for iron, and I saw that blue line also, this blue squiggly. So I'm assuming that's EMI, electrical interference there. So yeah, a lot of things I like, a lot of things I don't like. Things I like are petty because it's a thing like the carbon fiber. I do like the extra length. It's light. I like it that it's louder than the E-trac volume-wise. Although I do wish the enhanced audio was a little louder. I mean, I know the normal is loud, but I wish the enhanced was just a little bit louder. So yeah, there's a couple things. I don't like the battery life. I think the battery life is horrible. I mean, you can't really say it's got 50% more power, and it's got 20% more depth, maybe. And then I don't know what you're comparing it to, but you can compare it to this. But I don't think you can say it's got 50% more power than the Equinox. So I don't know where they're getting that BS, but yeah, definitely not a bigger battery. I mean, look at the size of this guy. Whole battery pack sits in this thing, right? And it does make it way heavier. What do you got over here? You got this little thing. Now, granted, I do use rechargeables, and I'm assuming that there's a lithium battery in there. But again, what happens, guys, when that battery, after about 2 years or 3 years of using this battery, the battery is going to start to only last like an hour or 2 hours. I mean, I don't really know if the engineers at Minelab I haven't actually taken a look to see if I can open that up or how they replace the battery. I'm assuming that you can. There are screws here, so probably the batteries take this off, and maybe the battery's in there. And I'm sure some of you guys have already done that and talked about it, but I haven't looked it up, so it's for another video. Anyways, yeah, those are the things I don't like, is the battery power. I don't like necessarily the headphones were okay. I still don't like the tone, but I gotta tweak it a little bit more. I don't like the fact that I got screwed out of that. The All-Terrain General didn't have the 5-tone wasn't able to go, the tones weren't able to go angle. So I hunted today, I hunted and found all of these in beach mode, mostly. After the first hunt, where I think I found 2 Wheaties at the first place, and then I found a little bit of coin, but most of the coins and then the 4 of the wheats I found all in beach mode, beach general, and I just tweaked it. So I don't know what frequency beach mode is hunting in. It was in multi frequency, and I altered the 5 tones the way I wanted it, sort of. I couldn't remember exactly, so I got to reset that up as best I can. So that's it for my first 2 hunts with the Manticore. I'm not going to give it a thumbs up yet. It's not impressed me enough for $1,600. No way. Not yet. Not until I learn a little bit more of the nuances and I've had too many, like everybody was complaining about, but had too many good tones, and only to find that it was a nail. But I'm learning, because the pinpointing is a key factor. When you have I found when I have a coin, the pinpoint seems to be better. But when I have an iron item, it wanting to pull. So I've been trying to dig the ones where I get a like tone, and sometimes I still get the nail. So I'm still trying to learn that out. And there is, I need to, it's kind of sad, but I need to dig more coins so I can hear and read. And then I got to start looking at my screen more, and so I can remember the numbers, which is what I want to go and tweak again. I want to go tweak the five tone, and I want to do some reading about the different modes and the 5 tone. So thanks for watching, guys. This is probably the end of a couple videos because it's really long stuff. So thanks again.